Stop, before that banana peel hits the trash can. Before those coffee grounds get rinsed down the sink, stop for 1 second. You are about to throw away two of the most powerful, completely free plant foods that will ever pass through your kitchen. One of them builds leaves and stems. The other one is the reason plants flower and fruit at all. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to turn both of these waste items into two simple liquid feeds that your plants can drink straight from the soil, no store-bought fertilizer, no chemicals, no cost. If you've ever wondered why some gardens seem to thrive effortlessly, while others struggle no matter how much you water and fuss over them, the answer usually isn't more effort. It's what's actually available to the roots. And that's exactly what we're fixing today. Here's something most gardening advice skips right over. Plants don't need miracles. They don't need fancy bottles with Latin names on the label. They need three things, and only three things. First, balanced nutrients. Not a random flood of plant food, but the right elements at the right time. Second, living soil. A healthy population of microorganisms working underground, breaking down organic matter into forms roots can actually use. Third, efficient root absorption. Because it doesn't matter how many nutrients are sitting in your soil if the roots can't take them in. Get those three factors working together, and your garden basically runs itself. And today, 2 kitchen scraps are going to help us hit all 3 targets at once. Let's start with the banana peel, because it might be the single most underrated ingredient in home gardening. Banana peels are one of the most accessible natural sources of potassium you will ever find. And potassium isn't just a nutrient. It's the specific element responsible for triggering flowering, improving fruit set, and boosting the overall quality of the fruit your plant produces. If you've got a plant that grows plenty of green, but never seems to flower the way you want, potassium is very often the missing piece. Here's exactly how to extract it. Step 1. Take your banana peels and chop them into small pieces. This step matters more than people think. The smaller the pieces, the more surface area you expose, and the faster the potassium and minerals can actually release into the water. Don't just toss a whole peel in and expect the same result. Step 2. Place the chopped peels into a clean jar and pour in about 500 milliliters of clean water, just over 2 cups. Step 3. Let it soak for 12 to 24 hours. During that window, something quietly powerful is happening. Potassium and a handful of other trace minerals are slowly dissolving out of the peel and into the water around it. Step 4. Once the soak is finished, strain out every piece of solid peel using a sieve or a clean cloth. You want only the liquid left behind. This isn't just tidiness leaving solid organic matter in your solution. Invites mold. An undissolved residue can actually block the soil instead of feeding it. Filtering gives you a clean solution that soaks in fast and feeds efficiently. That's it. You now have a homemade potassium tea sitting in a jar that cost you nothing. But here's the catch. Potassium alone won't transform your garden. If your soil is compacted, dry, or lifeless, that potassium tea you just made is going to sit there doing very little because there's no healthy root environment to actually use it. So before this feeding plan works, we need a second piece. And it's sitting right next to your banana peels in the trash. Used coffee grounds are packed with natural nitrogen, the nutrient responsible for healthy leaf and stem growth. But nitrogen is only half the story. Coffee grounds also carry organic compounds that physically improve your soil's structure, helping it hold moisture better, and creating the kind of loose, breathable environment that root systems love. In short, coffee grounds don't just feed your plant, they feed your soil. Here's how to brew it properly. Step 1. Pour about 1 liter of clean water into a glass jar, roughly 4 cups. Step 2. Add 2 tablespoons of coffee grounds. But here's the detail. Almost everyone skips the grounds need to be fully dried first. Wet, fresh grounds thrown straight into water are far more likely to grow mold, and mold is the enemy of the beneficial microbes we're actually trying to cultivate. Step 3. Stir the mixture thoroughly so the grounds are evenly dispersed through the water. This maximizes the contact between the water and the organic compounds in the coffee, which speeds up how much actually dissolves. Step 4. Let the mixture steep for 12 to 24 hours at room temperature. During this time, the nitrogen and trace minerals slowly dissolve into the water, creating a gentle Biologically active solution, not a harsh chemical spike, but a slow, natural release your plant can actually process. Step 5. Filter the mixture completely, removing every trace of solid residue until you're left with only the clear liquid. Just like with the banana peel tea, this step is what makes the solution easy for the plant to absorb and prevents leftover organic matter from sitting in your soil and decomposing unevenly. So here's the full picture. Banana peels give your plant potassium, the trigger for flowering and fruit development. Coffee grounds give your plant nitrogen and a healthier soil structure, the foundation for strong leaf, stem, and root growth. But neither one, on its own, is the real answer. The real answer is your plant's ability to actually absorb what you're feeding it at the root zone. That's the factor almost every gardening tutorial leaves out. It's not just what you feed your plant, it's whether the roots are in a position to use it. Which brings us to the part most people get wrong. Before you apply either solution, take 2 minutes to prep the area. Clear away any weeds growing around the base of the plant and gently loosen the top layer of soil. This does 3 things. It reduces competition for nutrients, it improves airflow into the root zone, and it lets your liquid feed soak in evenly instead of running off the surface or pooling in one spot. Now the schedule, and this is the part that actually determines whether this works. Never apply both solutions on the same day. That's the single most common mistake people make. Once they've got 2 miracle liquids sitting in their kitchen, they dump both in at once, overwhelm the plant, and wonder why nothing improved. Instead, alternate them across the week. Early in the week, apply the coffee ground solution. This builds organic matter and steadily improves the soil environment. Later in the week, apply the banana peel solution. This delivers the potassium that drives flowering and fruit development. Repeat this cycle roughly once a week and adjust the frequency based on how your specific plants respond. Every garden is a little different. A few non-negotiable guardrails. Never apply either solution at a heavy, undiluted concentration. And always water at the soil line, directly at the base of the plant, never on the leaves. These are root feeds, not foliar sprays. Stick with this cycle for 2 to 4 weeks, and here's what you'll typically notice: steadier, more consistent growth, greener leaves, sturdier stems, and noticeably stronger flowering and fruiting than before. And the part worth sitting with for a second, none of this cost you anything beyond what you already had sitting in your kitchen. The secret was never an expensive bottle from the garden center. It was learning how to use what you already throw away, the right way, at the right time. Try this on just one plant this week. Pick something you've been struggling with, follow the schedule, and watch what happens over the next few weeks. Nature has a way of delivering results that surprise even experienced gardeners. If this helped you look at your kitchen scraps a little differently, hit subscribe. I've got a lot more of these free, zero-cost garden fixes coming. See you in the next one.